Hi guys, it's April and I garden down in southeast Nebraska, zone 6A, and this is one of my weekly garden tours. We are in the middle of July, so everything is very warm and very green, and I am already starting to sweat and I've already been out here for 5 minutes. Now I do have a couple things to show you, and I'm gonna try and do it very carefully because apparently we have 3 new wasp nests that have decided to exist in this garden space, and I need to navigate around all of that without angering anybody. We will probably be removing them at some point this weekend, but that is not a project for right now. I do want to quickly take you past all of the pumpkins. We've got these ones right here that look really, really good. And then of course, our big old dill stalk. And then we've got this one right here that's doing good. Those are pretty much it for the pumpkins. My main canning pumpkins, sadly, have not made it, but these white decorative pumpkins, I think we're gonna have fun with this year. But otherwise, yes, we still have this wall of dill. I might cut it down in a couple weeks because it is all starting to die back, but I do want some of this seed to fall for next year, so I don't want to cut it back too soon. So I'm kind of waiting on that. And we did harvest some of these ground cherries the other day, and they're actually pretty good this year, which I do not say often because ground cherries are not really my favorite fruit. I usually don't eat them. They're usually all for everybody else. But for some reason, this year, especially from this plant, they were pretty good. I tend to always show you how the vining plants are doing over here, and they're still doing pretty good. I did want to show you the volunteer carrots. I have started harvesting a few here and there, and they're actually really good. So I'm not mad about this volunteer mess that is happening right now. And I have on and off been picking a couple of these tomatoes over here. I haven't really gotten a big flush of tomatoes yet, but 1 or 2 are starting to ripen. Sometimes it's bug damage that starts the process. Sometimes it's just the plant under stress. But oh my gosh, how did I miss these? I have been looking for zucchini for days. And apparently I haven't been looking in the right spot because I have a couple of zucchinis right there that I need to come back and harvest. So apparently this year I have not been very good at actually looking for squash and melons because I swear I have been looking and moving leaves and trying to find things, and I don't usually. I want to catch them when they're decent size, especially the cucumbers. I don't want massive cucumbers, but somehow, like these zucchini, I've been failing, and I've been finding a lot of massive ones when I'm not even looking for them. That's when I see them. I don't understand. So yeah, I will come back and harvest those guys. I honestly thought this plant had stopped producing and was being taken over by the butternut. Apparently not. But here are my spicy peppers. I have harvested a couple of poblanos, but everything else I'm kind of waiting for them to ripen so I can make some sriracha sauce. And these tomato plants, even finally starting to get a little bit of fruit, but leaf-wise, I think they're my best looking tomato plants. But this bean plant is just taking over. I'm struggling to get the eggplants off because it's just taking over, unfortunately. Oh, and it looks like I need to trellis up some of my grapes. Hold on a second. So here we've got one of the root vegetable beds. I have been harvesting beets from this area. They are the Badger Flame from row 7, and they are so tender and so good. They might be my just go-to beet from now on. I have been enjoying those quite a bit. And as you can see, over here, all of the potatoes are gone. I know at one point I planted a squash in with the potatoes in this corner. I didn't even see it when I was harvesting potatoes, so I don't think it exists anymore. So I need to decide what I'm going to have in this area next. I haven't quite decided yet. But then we can start with the plants that have become a tangled mess. So we've got some indeterminate tomatoes growing on the back side and some dwarf on the front. All of them are looking good, and I do have, coming over here real quick, the same thing kind of going on over here, except for I think I've only got one dwarf, which is right here. So he might get overwhelmed, but what are you gonna do? I'm gonna pull this. But yeah, the tomato plants are looking good. As I mentioned, on and off, I've been harvesting a couple of ripe, smaller tomatoes. And this is the other area with the squash and cucumbers that I periodically just be like, oh, look, something I should probably harvest. So yeah, this one's starting to spill off. This is more of the butternut than anything else. I think on the other side I've got more of the cucumbers not going up, oddly enough. What's going up on the trellis is mostly the runner beans, which is also what I decided to plant in these two pots where I took out tomatoes. I'll probably be taking these tomatoes out soon. I don't think they're doing well. I think I'm just gonna do runner beans to see if I can get them to grow up those trellises. But there's nothing really new in this bed. And then we have the wild rush of tomato plants over here. I don't think I've ever shown it to you from this side, at least not for a while. And yes, I still have been failing with the whole pruning thing. But here we are. It's a nice privacy wall, so I can hide back there from both the sun and the neighbors. But this is the side that I've been showing you for the last couple tours. I've got another butternut that's starting to overflow. And then, of course, the sweet peppers, which all look really good. And then my path is becoming blocked by several tomato plants. So I think they're gonna slowly make the decision for me that I need to trim at least the walkways, because I do need to be able to get in there to actually harvest some of the bigger tomatoes, because all the big tomatoes are on the front side right here. And it looks like we've got some blushing peppers which is good. I did harvest a couple of the Lesia the other day. And the walls were just like thick and juicy and they were perfect. But I'll show you under the deck now. I think we need to stop and wave at Albus the garden dog as he watches me. Didn't want the poor guy to get a sunburn while I was doing this, so he is inside right now. But I figured I'd start in the back and show you how these tomato plants are doing. And then I do have some beans starting to sprout. Those are bush beans. And then I've got the leeks going pretty well. I might start harvesting them here and there. And once again, we're gonna say hi to Albus. He's enjoying the sun. All the dog nose prints on that window. Okay, let's see if I can get around here without causing too much trouble. I have 1 or 2 spinaches starting to pop up in this bed. It's just been so hot. I think the germination rate hasn't been the best, but I have started harvesting some of the bigger onions. I think this is gonna be about it for my onion harvest, which is unfortunate, but it happens sometimes. Otherwise, I have also planted this up with some bush beans, so I'm waiting for those to start to sprout. And then we've got all of our patio tomatoes. Guess I could quickly take you around the fire pit as well. So as you can see, these are the pots around the fire pit. It's been a bit of a struggle this week because of our high temperatures and trying to keep these guys from getting too grumpy. Some of the pepper plants got really droopy there for a while. But we did get some rain, so they're starting to bounce back. And then this is the last set of pots. And yes, I am getting some fruits here and there from all of the pots. Oh yeah, I need to get inside. This is bad. So I do have some weeding I need to do. There's a lot of things here and there that have been driving me nuts, but I think I need to start setting up time in the late evening when the sun's going down and it is not nearly as devastating out as it is right now to start doing some of that. And it has just rained, so the ground should be workable for pulling up some of those weeds, so maybe I'll do that tonight. I'm gonna go and I'm gonna harvest all of those big squash that we just saw. If you want to continue to see how my garden continues to grow and change, feel free to subscribe down below, hit the bell, do all the things to get all of the notifications. I like to do this about once a week so I have a record of how everything is going. Otherwise, I do have an Instagram and Threads account where I like to post pictures of everything that I am harvesting, and I think my camera is starting to overheat, so I'm gonna call it right here. I do hope I will see you guys in another video, and I heart your beautiful faces. Bye.